Yep, that's me. And this is my friend Wade. And we travelled halfway across the world to visit 16 theme parks in 20 days, all across the United States of America. We give you our full ride reviews. Wow.
Favourite ride ever.
We bring you on ride. And give you our full thoughts on every single theme park we visited.
Wow. Such a good park.
Incredible park. This is the USA Theme Park Road Trip 2023.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Today we are here at Six Flags over Georgia for our first ever visit. This is the first theme park for me of the trip that's new to me. And from here on out until Kings Island, it'll be all new for both of us. So yeah, we're very excited. There's 11 coasters to get on today. Yeah, they look okay from off-ride when we're outside the park here, but yeah, we're gonna have a good day. You excited?
Pumped.
Let's go in there. And the first thing you notice when you get to the entrance is definitely the B&M Hyper Goliath. It soars over the front of the park here and looks absolutely incredible. We can't wait to get on that one. Alright, so we're going to start off the day on this aerodynamics roller coaster built in 1967. It is the DeLong, how do you say it? Oh, you don't even know. Yeah, we got on the mine train. Let's go. Pretty much a walk-on, which is pretty good to see starting off the day. Let's go. Alright, so we've just been on the Delanaga? I don't know, I'm going to call it Delanaga mine train. What do you think?
Rough.
Yeah, it's a bit rough in some places. I would say it's not rough the whole coaster, but some of the transitions on there are a bit showing its age, I think. So 1967 that was built, so I mean it still runs fine. It's better than Hurricane that I did last night at Fun Spot, but yeah, it's a family coaster, I guess, and yeah. We're going to head on to a kiddie credit now, so let's go on the kiddie credit. And yeah, this is the Joker's Funhouse, manufactured by Chance Rides. Let's go have a ride and see how it goes. Alright, so I've just come off the Joker's Funhouse, manufactured by Chance Rides, and it wasn't too bad actually. It's quite smooth. It's just there behind me there. And yeah, it's a solid kiddie coaster. Yeah, nothing much to say about it, but it's smooth, so can't complain. Alright, onwards and upwards. Well, I have to say, I think we've both seen this view before. Back home at Movie World, actually. This is the sequel, I guess, to the prototype ride that we got at Movie World. It's got an updated ride system, and I've heard it's a lot better than ours, so yeah, you ready to go for a ride?
Absolutely.
Let's go!
Get ready for the fight of the lions. Don't listen to his scared. I bet we capture the rest of the Justice League within the hour of hideous. Satellite spots are currently being dispatched throughout the metropolis and will soon take control of every electrical system in the city.
Alright, so we've just done Justice League. How was it?
Heaps better than our one.
Way better than ours. The ride system moves around, incorporates the screens and the props pretty well, I thought.
There's fire.
Sorry?
There was fire.
Oh yes, there was fire. Sorry, I thought you said there's a flyer,
no.
which we're going on next, actually, the Superman. But yeah, fire always makes things everything so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much better than ours. Yeah, I thought it was solid. Alright, on to the next ride, let's go. Alright, it's time to ride the park's B&M flying coaster, Superman Ultimate Flight. had our ride on Superman Ultimate Flight, the B&M Flying Coaster. I think it was a bit more tame than Manta at SeaWorld, would you agree?
Yeah, smoother.
Yeah, a bit more tame, a bit less intense. I think where Manta is in SeaWorld is a bit better because you're flying over the water, you get the waterfall there as well. But it's a solid flyer, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Alright, it's time to ride the park's wooden coaster now. Manufactured by Philadelphian Toboggan Coasters. And it opened here in 1973. Looks like a classic. Let's go for a ride. We're about an hour into our day now, and the crowd seems to be pretty good for a Saturday.
Very good for a Saturday.
Very good. We've been walking on to everything so far. We made our way to the back of the park first. We thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we'll make our way back to the front of the park, and yeah, so hopefully there'll be more walk-ons today. It's pretty quiet, so yeah. So we've just come off the Great American Scream Machine, opened in 1973, and actually it's its 50th year in operation. They actually had all banners up, look pretty good. Yeah, it's a classic out and back Woody. What do you think to it?
Very rickety, but that's what you get for that.
Yeah.
Like a massage chair.
Massage chair, yeah. It's kind of rattles you around a bit. Yeah, it's a classic Woody. You got to get that rattle on Woodies. You get a bit more when it's a bit older. And then obviously the new ones are a bit smoother, but they've still got that tiny bit of rattle. But yeah, it's a great ride, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Solid ride. All right, it's time to ride the park's Vekoma. Opened in 1992, called Blue Hawk. It looks very similar to the Gold Coaster back home at Dreamworld. So yeah, let's go for a ride. We've just come off Blue Hawk, the park's Vekoma, and I must say it's very similar to the Gold Coaster back at Dreamworld. The same restraints on that one, a bit more leg room I would say on that one though. But yeah, it's okay, slightly rough, not unbearable I wouldn't say. Quite intense on the loops there. Mid. Oh, he's calling it mid. I think it's okay. It's not terrible. My favorite thing is it's located over the water there. And when you're going over the loops, you're looking straight down at the water, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's an okay ride. I will say though that the landscaping in this park is quite good. They've got some nice rock work around. It's a tiny bit hilly, not terribly hilly, but yeah, it's quite a nice park in the trees here. So. And as we're making our way to the front of the park, you get some great views of Goliath. It definitely looks the part. We're keen to get on that today. That's probably one of the main reasons we've come to Six Flags over Georgia. But yeah, definitely keen to get on that. And as we're making our way around now, we've got Daredevil Dive in front of us. And it's actually advertised right now at a 120-minute wait. And I assume that's because the trains are actually only 6 people per car. So, yeah, we might skip that one for now. We might come back later, see if it's dropped in time. But, yeah, we might make our way around towards the corner of the park where Batman the Ride is. Now, the Flash Coaster was supposed to be open by summer, and it's still not yet. We'll have a quick peek through here. It still looks like they're doing groundwork on it, which isn't that great because you don't. I just don't like when they advertise something to be open and then it doesn't open. There's one at Six Flags Fiesta Texas that's currently being constructed, and theirs has already gone vertical. But yeah, this one seems to be taking a bit longer, so I'm not too sure why. But yeah, keep in mind that this is the 5th of August while we're recording right now. So yeah, it might be up by the time you're watching this. But yeah, and here's a look at Batman the Ride, one of the many clones we will be getting on this trip. It is a B&M invert. It's not a bad layout, I don't mind it at all, but yeah, we should be getting on a couple of these this trip, so let's go have a ride. Alright, we've just done Batman, the ride, the B&M invert. Now, first of all, I'll start off on a good note. The ride's pretty good.
The ride was pretty good.
Yeah, very intense invert. Yeah, it's a good ride.
Everything else other than the ride is woeful.
Now let's talk about the queue line. The queue line,
Shocking.
terrible. That we had to walk through 20 switchbacks all the way around.
In a shed.
Yeah, in a shed.
No fans.
No fans. I counted 1 fan in the whole queue line, and it wasn't even a temporary fan. It was just
placed in the doorway.
Placed in the door. Yeah, it was very random. Second thing, operations. What are you doing, Six Flags? The operations of that were terrible. What were they doing? They were
shocking.
Loading 1 train full of flash passes, and obviously there's not as many people who have the flash pass, so they were sending out, like, I reckon around 10,
15 empty seats.
Empty seats. Why?
Who knows?
Like, so there was 2 trains operating. 1 train they would put general people in the general queue line on that train, and then they would make the next train full of flash pass and then send it half empty.
Yeah.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. The operations at this park, they started off pretty good this morning, but it's just gone downhill since then. So hopefully they pick up. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Alright, it's time to ride the park's RMC here at Six Flags over Georgia. It is Twisted Cyclone. And it actually kind of looks like a baby RMC. It's quite cute looking. Yeah, but let's go for a ride and see how it goes. Just ridden Twisted Cyclone, and I must say that's the standout for me so far. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's only a small RMC, but it packs a punch in that little footprint of it. Yeah, it's awesome. Good pops of ejector air time. The wave turn was okay.
Yeah,
wasn't too bad. And then I like the ending where it went through the old structure there. It was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of twists that I wasn't expecting as well. Yeah, so solid ride. Alright, it's time to ride the park's Gerstlauer Eurofighter. It is Devil Dive, and yeah, it looks the part off right. Hopefully it's good on ride. Let's go have a ride. just experienced Daredevil Dive, the Eurofighter here at Six Flags over Georgia.
Such a smooth ride.
That was so smooth. Very quiet as well.
Yeah.
I think we're used to the B&M roars going around the park, but yeah, it's such a smooth ride. It was okay. Nothing to rave about, but yeah, it was alright. Not a bad ride. Alright, it's time to ride the park's B&M hypercoaster, Goliath. So excited to ride this. I've heard it's got amazing floater airtime. So yeah, let's go get on and have a ride. Just experienced Goliath, the park's B&M hypercoaster. What did you think?
Full on.
Full on. Yeah, that's the right word, I'd say.
Yeah.
Amazing floater airtime. Amazing. The most intense part, we both grayed out actually, was the downward helix turnarounds. Whew, that's intense.
Oh yeah.
That's very intense. But my favorite has got to be those airtime hills towards the end of the ride there.
Yeah.
So much airtime. It's bordering on ejector, but I think it's still a bit floater airtime. But yeah, it's a great ride. One of the best in the park. I'd probably say it's on par with Twisted Cyclone for me. What would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, on par. So yeah, great hypercoaster. All right, it's time to ride Mindbender now. This is the park's Schwarzkopf, opened in 1978. And yeah, it looks like a really good layout. Has a really big loop at the side of the ride, and yeah, should be good. Let's go for a ride. Alright, we've just come off the Riddler's Mindbender there, the Schwarzkopf opened in 1978. Wow, that was smooth for that.
Very smooth for its age.
Wow, that's an incredible ride actually. It's not too intense, which is what I like. I don't like too much intensity. And
very good, like a family coaster, I reckon.
Yeah, very good family coaster. Probably one if you're wanting to go from kiddie to family. Definitely one that steps up a notch there. But yeah, it's probably one of my favorite at the park really. It's just a relaxing kind of ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, only one slight rattle in one little track section.
Yeah.
Probably the most intense part of the ride, but that's a given. It's gonna happen. But the rest of the ride is butter smooth. So great ride. And we've got one last coaster to get on today. It is the B&M stand-up coaster here at Six Flags. It's going to be Wade's first ever original stand-up coaster, so it's going to be interesting to see what he thinks comparing it to Pipeline. I already know my opinion, but I guess we'll find out what Wade thinks. Let's go have a ride on Georgia Scorcher. They have some awesome entrance signs here, and this one is no exception. Georgia Scorcher, put your feet to the fire. ride there on Georgia Scorcher, the B&M stand-up coaster. Now I have to ask, is that better than Pipeline?
No.
No, nowhere near it. This ride here offers more intensity. It's more G-forces, I feel, whereas Pipeline is more about the airtime for me.
Yeah.
The only good thing about this ride for me was there was like a moment of sideways standing airtime. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite bit of the ride. Nothing to rave about. Pipeline's definitely way better. But yeah, it's another ride we got on today. All right, and that pretty much wraps up our day here at Six Flags over Georgia. We aren't going to bother doing re-rides. We've got a long drive ahead of us. We're going to Pigeon Forge tonight to go to Dollywood tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see you outside the park and we'll wrap up the vlog. All right, well that wraps up our day at Six Flags over Georgia. Interesting day, I might say so myself.
Yeah.
The day started off great, I think. We walked onto everything, which is normally a given at American parks. I don't seem to come to the parks right at the start of the day.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the time to get on the rides. We walked onto the first 5 coasters, I want to say. Yeah, it was good. They had great operations at the start of the day. And then we hit Batman. And that's when the day started going downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting operations on that ride specifically, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think some other rides were a bit better.
Just that whole ride in general was...
Yeah, the operations were terrible. Then we went to get lunch. Even, I don't know if there's lunch operations, but they were
Yeah.
But yeah, it was downhill from there. I think when we started to get on rides like Twisted, Cyclone and Goliath, it started to get a bit better.
Yeah.
The operations on those rides were a bit better. But yeah, a mixed kind of day. I think this park has a lot of potential if they can get their operations right.
Yeah.
You would agree?
Absolutely.
But yeah, one word to sum up this park.
Mid.
Very mid of a park. A lot of potential, but yeah, just fix those operations, guys. That's the main thing I would say.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for watching this vlog, guys. We've got a 4-hour drive right now. We're heading to Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, because we are heading to Dollywood tomorrow.
Keen.
We're so excited.
Oh, yeah.
One of the bucket list parks of this trip. So excited.
Yeah.
So we better get on the road, I reckon. Go down there, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. This trip has been incredible so far. We've got so much more to come.
Yeah. 1 week down.
Only 1 week down, 2 more to go.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.